Eufy and Tapo offer several different types of cameras. However, both companies currently have a top-tier battery-powered dual lens camera option in the S4 for Eufy and the C675D for Tapo. While the cameras seem very similar, each company has put their own spin on this type of camera. I have tested and reviewed both of these, so I can tell you the similarities, differences, and standout features of both. I'm Wanderer 001. We have a lot to cover. Let's get into it. I wanted to start off with the similarities between the two cameras. First is there is no subscription needed for AI detection with either of these cameras, which is very important and why I put that first, because not every company does that. Second similarity is they both have a red and blue flashing light that can be used in a security mode. Now, for me personally, I still feel this is a gimmick and don't really weigh heavily into the inclusion of that in a camera. Data point for you, nonetheless. They also share 15 frames a second for their video. They also both are IP65 weather rated and both have been tested in torrential downpours and snow in the case of the S3. They also both share a stationary, which is what this is here, camera that has a certain level of adjustability based on moving the camera lens around a little bit. And the last bit that they share in common is an internal 10,000 milliamp battery that's going to power these devices. Moving on to our differences between them. First and foremost is the PIR sensor, especially on the stationary cameras. If you see, the Eufy has this little dot. Tapo, this whole piece down here is the PIR sensor. It's a nice wide band. Tapo has a slightly wider field of view for their PIR sensor than the Eufy camera has. Next, we move on to resolution. The S4 here has a 2688 by 3040, and that's going to be a combination of their videos together, both the stationary and PTZ. It still counts as 4K, but it is stitching the video between the two together. Tapo, on the other hand, has a resolution of 3840 by 2160. That's going to be 4K, but you get individual videos from each of the cameras. So each camera is 4K, as opposed to a stitched view being 4K. Speaking of the views, we move on to our field of view. So for our Eufy, the stationary camera has a 130-degree field of view, while the Tapo has 169 degrees field of view, both of which are 4K. Moving on to our PT or PTZ cameras, the Eufy has a 46-degree field of view with smart tracking, and the Tapo has a 65-degree field of view, 4K with smart tracking. Over here, this is only a 2K. It combines the video and makes it 4K. So there is a slightly wider field of view that you're going to get with the Tapo camera. Moving on to motion range, because I like to do this. Eufy, you have a pan of 355 and a tilt of 70, and the Tapo has 360 and a tilt of 128. This one's going to be able to see underneath it, while this one is going to be limited. They also both support local storage, with the Eufy having 256 gigs and the Tapo 512, so slightly more. Wi-Fi connectivity, Eufy 2.4 gigahertz only, Tapo 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, as well as it has external antennas to help with stability. Another difference between the two, this is a data point, not a plus or a minus. Detection speeds, Eufy averaged out to be about 4.5 seconds. Tapo was about 2.5 seconds averaged together. This was utilizing same 5G, same Wi-Fi connection for these guys, and text-based notification only, not the thumbnail preview that Eufy can provide you. The next difference is their solar power. Eufy offers 5.5 watts, while Tapo offers 4.5 watts. And notice that the Tapo solar panel is slightly larger. Now, both cameras utilizing their solar panels do give you the ability to keep these cameras topped off. It's just how quickly the battery will be topped off. Moving on to notable features of the two. We're going to start with the Eufy here. First and foremost is their removable battery. It can be hot swapped out if you have extras. The eufy can also be plugged in the back here for a powered mode that would support 24/7 recording instead of just motion-based clips. eufy also has a radar in addition to the PIR sensor on the PT camera. The eufy camera also supports a hybrid zoom with these two lenses, which will automatically zoom in to a target as it's tracking it, and this zoomed in view is visible in the downloaded video file, not just through the application. Tapo has something that zooms in, but it's only visible in the app because that's digital. This is actually switching between two lenses, and this one is a close-up view. The last notable feature for the eufy here is, in my opinion, currently, eufy has, in this camera, the best privacy zone management that I have ever seen. You set a privacy zone up, and instead of just being a pixelated black box that is stuck on the screen, and even if you pan tilt, it will always live in that spot on your screen, eufy, for this camera, has enough smarts that it pins that black box to a location on your property, giving it one of the best examples of how a privacy zone should be done in a PT camera. Some notable features of the Tapo camera here: it supports a 24/7 snapshot mode. So even though this won't record 24/7, it will create a pseudo 24/7 recording, which is great because you can set it to 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, and it will pretty much look like 24/7 recording. It also exports two separate video feeds. So this camera has a separate feed and this camera has a separate feed. Both are 4K. The eufy camera here stitches both views together and gives you one singular 4K output. This one, you have more video to work with, and I really appreciate that. Tapo also has tracking of a specific type. So if I only want to track pets with the camera here, it'll do that, or a person, it'll do that. But I can also set up activity zones specific to those types, which is very impressive, being able to say, over on this side, I only care about animals. Over on this side, I only care about people. Another thing would be clip size. Tapo allows you to adjust clip length so that if I have a minute video, but there's only 20 seconds of actual footage, I can cut that down so my output isn't a minute long. And last, when comparing the two, I'm going to say one of the standout features for the Tapo is the price. Compared to the eufy,
it is more affordable.
Both cameras offer great coverage from a single camera, allowing for multiple views in one location, and offer a great deal of options for customization of just about everything. However, the eufy S4 is definitely geared more towards the power user that wants all the bells and whistles and is most likely already in the eufy ecosystem and has a home base 3, because you get the better AI from that. And when paired with the home base 3, the S4 becomes even more impressive. While the Tapo is a powerful camera, it feels more geared towards those looking for a camera that does more than just your typical PT camera, offering enough options to keep tech enthusiasts happy, but still being approachable enough for a first smart home camera. Honestly, you can't go wrong with either. Just know what you need your camera to do and if it fits into your smart home. If either of these sound like what you've been looking for, I will have links where you can pick them up for yourself in the description area below. If you appreciate the time and effort that goes into making comprehensive videos like this, make sure to hit that like button to help other people find the video as well. If you like what I'm doing here and want to be notified of my next review, hit that subscribe button. Still not sure which of these is the right dual lens pan tilt camera for you? On screen now you'll see the in-depth dedicated reviews I have for each of these cameras to help you make a more informed decision for yourself.